Hello, adventurers, and welcome to Grognard and Friends special Father's Day Make the Old Man Happy with another brand new tie and a steak that we make him cook himself holiday episode. Sadly, the Friends' resident father, Reed, will not be joining us tonight, not because he is spending time with his children, but because he received his holiday gift early, that of COVID. Nikita is also sick this evening, so she won't be joining us either. We will miss them both, and we do wish them both a speedy recovery. They say it's certain things, but I'm pretty sure it's the mudlarks. And to all of you D&D daddies, to all of you with fathers, and especially those of you without fathers, we here at Grognard and Friends consider ourselves very fortunate to be able to include you as part of our family. Thank you for spending this day with us. Friends and family are to be cherished, and it means a lot to be able to include you amongst ours. And I believe that you, Butt Trumpet, also had some special holiday wishes to add on behalf of us all here at Grognard and Friends.
Yes, I wanted to wish all members of the LGBTQ plus community a happy Pride.
From all of us to all of you, thank you so much. And speaking of friends, let's check out this week's episode of Grognard and Friends. When last we left the Friends, they had finally made it out of the Stratavernia's house, only to be faced once again with the green-eyed ghouls and their accompanying large monstrosities. After an interesting battle that had Reed and Vivalda splattered with an acidic glue-like breath, Gaius with a pair of monstrous trophies in a bag, and a wild magic surge that caused Butt Trumpet to grow to 15 feet tall. On their way back to the Stone's Throw, they also found Eldred, who had been waiting for them at a rooftop bar, drinking for the better part of a week. The now giant Butt Trumpet reached out and brought them down, and a conversation of various emotions regarding Eldred ensued. And once back at the Stone's Throw, Butt Trumpet was finally back to their normal height, that of about 2 feet, but not after growing and shrinking to numerous other sizes, thanks to their fellow spellcasters. They all were also met with one Lord Stadenborg, who seemed to be there at the behest of Lord Quaid from the palace. Stuffy and somewhat annoyed, he gave them the job of going in search of a missing child in the village of Forest Grove at the behest of a merchant there by the name of Silas Marner, who had seemingly promised his daughter to the palace when she comes of age. And now you know why this is the special Father's Day episode. With their visit to the Stratavernius house already putting them a week behind schedule, they set out to get weapons, armor, maps, supplies, and trying to figure out the best way to get horses. Friends, you find yourself in the west end of the city. It is very different from the rest of the city. Lots of travelers come and go, many of them looking very unhappy, many struggling with large amounts of belongings and boxes and baggage. Some angry, most angry. Some with oxen, even more angry. And there are a number of inns around here, all seemingly in wait for unsuspecting travelers. They have names like the Traveler's Rest, the End of the Line, the Weary Bones, and the Home Away from Home. And while you notice that they may have comforting names, they look anything but. What do you do?
I'm very curious which inn is the scariest.
They all look kind of flea-ridden and broken down, but I'd probably say the Traveler's Rest looks pretty nasty.
How does the Home Away from Home look? Because that actually sounds somewhat decent.
Well, there's shutters, like some shutters are missing, some are hanging off. There are some rather unsavory types hanging around outside drinking over a barrel.
Uh-huh. Gaius?
Well, I guess let's get the hell out of town. Because I don't know if anyone's going to disagree with me here. I want to leave. This place has just worn me down, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily about it.
It's my first real big city, and I won't lie, I'm not that impressed.
Same.
The sewers, I'd rather just go to a town without them.
Hmm.
Eldred says, but that's surprising. They had such a great TripAdvisor review.
Well, it's just if you pay enough, you can get those reviews changed.
Ah.
Gold speaks
Yeah, you hassle the advisor long enough and he'll yelp.
boo.
Okay, so you head towards the gates. People are coming in, and a lot of them have so much baggage they're dragging some of it.
Mm.
Some have like hand carts and wheelbarrows that look to have seen better days, that does not look like they traveled with them. And everyone just has a really unpleasant look on their face that's coming in. At the gates, there's a large set of gates with a portcullis that's up. The guards that you've normally seen throughout the city usually carry swords and such. These are carrying very long spears and pikes at the gate, one on either side as you're headed towards it.
Keep moving on, I guess. If someone that's not too disgruntled, but semi-disgruntled, um, I kind of want to approach them because basically I'm trying to figure out how much these people are getting ripped off before we get there.
Find somebody indifferent.
Yeah, well, somebody that's definitely pissed because they don't have a horse anymore, but not so upset that they won't stop to complain about it.
Okay, you see a couple of men who have so much baggage they're dragging it along, and they look incredibly upset. But roll me a 20-sider just to see how
Okay.
your luck does.
Slightly above average.
Okay, so you have these two with all the baggage. You have a family that seems to have a wheelbarrow that the father's struggling to keep. The woman has two children that are crying, and one of them saying they're hungry. The other one says that they have to go to the bathroom, and they're just runny nosed. And the woman looks harried, and the guy just looks like he's on his last nerve. You see a guy with an ox and a cart, with a load of things that just looks like he's swearing under his breath. You see a couple people walking in with like basically there's stuff on their back that they don't look angry, they don't look happy, but they just look focused, and they're kind of looking around as they get through the gates.
I think I'll go to the more focused looking group of travelers, I guess. That'll be
Okay.
the first ones I try to endear myself to. Excuse me, quick question. I'm about to leave town. I see you guys have just gone in, and by the looks on your faces and the gear on your person, did you have to sell your horses outside?
No, thank God for that. We walked.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
By the way, can you recommend a good inn?
yeah. Oh, if you want to go to if you feel like walking to the library district, Stone's Throw Inn. I stayed there for a couple weeks. Butterbeer's the owner. Tell him Gaius sent you. I think they should have rooms available because we just left. And fairly priced, good food, good drink,
Where's
decent
the
atmosphere.
library district?
Um, I give them directions.
Okay.
Head down. I take my time to give them proper
Okay.
directions to it.
He says, "Well,
Uh,
thank you, sir."
Did you happen to notice when you were outside who here sold some horse? Did you notice how much people were getting ripped off?
I don't know what the prices were. There
Mm-hmm.
were a lot of angry, we'll say, negotiations I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And there are plenty of places out there that look like, they're not official. They're just people who've kind
Yeah,
of
they're
thrown up shop. And thrown up, I think, is the best way to put it.
they're milking. What I'm hoping to do is see how much they're cutting off people with, and I'm hoping we'll run into somebody who's just arrived with some fresh horses, and I will pay a reasonable amount for them instead, and we just trade. That way, they don't get ripped off as much. Do you pointing like gesturing around? Did any of these people that you know? Do you see walking in? Did they have horses when they came in? Did you notice that?
There's a crowd out there waiting to get in, and there was a crowd when we first were approaching the city
Mm-hmm.
around all these, horse swogglers or whatever you want to call them. It's
Yes.
kind of cleared up a little bit because now it looks like there's a long line of people with oxen and carts waiting to get in.
Okay.
There are a few, and there's a lot of foot traffic.
Obviously, yes.
I can't speak for what's out there right now.
Mm.
Getting in seemed to take a little bit longer than I've ever had to get into a city before.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, there was some. Let's just say the horses on this side of town were not having a good time with some kind of dietary issue of some sort or another. Something with
Yeah,
their
well,
guts.
I saw the one batch down by the water that looked
We
really
don't need to
bad.
talk about it.
Yeah, really bad.
Well, excellent. I thank you. Yes, and like I said, Butterbeer is the proprietor. He should have rooms available. They literally just became available today. So,
Well, if with a name like that, it sounds like a good place to get some refreshments. So if nothing else, we'll
oh yes,
check that out.
I can at least do that. And his rooms are reasonably priced, depending upon what you feel like spending. And the library district is kind of central to a lot of, depending upon what your business here in town is.
He looks around and he's looking at the inns around and says, "How does this stones
Throw.
stones throw?
Throw.
How does it compare to some of the stuff around here?"
The one you described, Paul, are they just as bad, or are they kind
Oh,
of?
the stone's throw is like luxury compared to what's around here.
Oh yeah, um, yeah. It's head and shoulders above any of these places.
Matter of
like,
fact, some of the ones you saw down at the docks, a good number of those even looked better than what's right
Oh, really?
right
Oh,
inside
God.
the gates.
Let me tell you, have you had to go to the docks in the city yet?
I've never been to
there's
this city before.
Okay, don't really go to the docks because there's a lot of criminal element that seems to be there. The taverns and establishments there are nicer than this. To paint a picture for you.
Oh, wow.
I think these people are just like the horse merchants outside are exploiting weary travelers. You know, you walk in and you stay at the first place you can, and they probably charge more than they honestly should.
Well,
Never had any issues, and like I said, Butterbeer, he does a good job, takes care of takes care of the people as long as you pay your bill.
Oh, that's fair. That's very fair. Okay, well, safe travels.
You as well, and I hope all your business goes well in town.
So do I.
May Bacchus protect you while you're in this town, because it can get interesting from time to time. Nothing too much. We had a rash of wild bunnies for a bit. That was
excuse me?
a thing. Yeah. There's that. They have the Magic Academy or whatever they got nearby.
Oh, the university.
assuming
I've heard of that.
Yeah. I'm sure it was a spell one of the kids was pranking or doing something. There was a bunch of multicolored bunnies released in the market a couple weeks back, and see them still around in places.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, just like I said, if you need to go to the Eastern District, just don't go over there. It's experiencing a cloud effect from that hole they have over there, and the stenches. Yeah, it's something related to the Witch War way back when. But basically, yeah, there's some kind of miasma fog that has some kind of ungodly smell, and they don't patrol with the town guard over there. So you can only imagine how lawless it is. So just for your own sake, don't go to the East District. There are areas in the East District that are okay, for the most part, try to stay away from there. Talk to the town guard. They will advise what areas to and not to go in relating to the East District.
Well, I hope they're nicer than they were here at the gates.
Results may vary. I've met a few that have been pleasant and easy to work with, and then I've met some that are, yeah, you know.
It sounds about par for the course. Okay, well,
Exactly.
it was pleasant chatting with you. I need some refreshing beverages and a place to put my weary feet up after. Quite
Stone's Throw's got some excellent whiskeys and beers.
Oh.
Sadly, the wine selection in the city is suboptimal, if that is your preferred beverage.
I've heard Seven Rivers is known for their beers and their whiskeys, and their spirits. So,
well, the Stone's Throw does have a excellent selection. So,
very good then. He thanks you for all your help, and he goes on his way.
All right. Well, that was a pleasant interaction with a complete random stranger. Well, let's go, I guess, out the gate, and I will try to haggle for horses.
Okay, you go through the gate. The two guards on either side kind of look at you as they're watching people come in. They just kind of give you a cursory look. You go through the tunnel that is the wall, come out the other end. There's a group of guards also with spears and pikes kind of going through people's stuff as they come in, seemingly taking a tax as people enter. And there's a it's pretty busy. It's bustling out there. There are some guards wandering around further out, you notice, especially along the line of people waiting to get in. Roll me a 20-sider, please.
9, slightly below average.
You see some carts and wagons with oxen. You see a lot of people on foot. You do see, like, at the back, a cart with a single horse, but the cart is, like, really built up high with crates and boxes.
Gotcha.
And you see a lot of people on foot. The guards seem to be going through everything pretty thoroughly. More so than you've ever seen, like when you entered. I mean, it was you got in pretty easily. And as you make your way further out, you see exactly what kind of was described to you. To the left, on the other side of all the people, the road kind of then turns into a grassy area that slopes down towards the lakeside. And there's some trees here and there. You see a tree further on that seems to have a number of horses with a person laying down. And oddly enough, you see even some of the horses laying down. It's to the right that you see most of the action. There are kind of makeshift corrals set up, and there must be 8 to 12 of them that have all sorts of horses, some still with the saddles on, some with the saddles over the makeshift fencing, which sometimes are just like poles stuck in with rope tied between them. Some are a little more fancier. You see horses of all different types in all of these. You see 1 or 2 that don't have horses but have oxen. You see a couple people with oxen that don't have corrals. It's like they're tied to their wagon at the back, kind of like they brought them in and they're just waiting to do business with people. You do see a couple wagons left along with some of the horse areas. You see a number of people at various corrals seeming to do business, and none of them seem to be pleasant interactions.
Gotcha. Okay. So looking around, like, okay,
One of the guards does say, "Move along, sir. It's a busy day today."
Oh, I apologize. Guardsman,
Yes.
I have a quick question. Do you know how bad these people are being ripped off right now? Do you know? Because like I'm trying to buy a horse and I don't feel like getting ripped off. Do you know if they're?
Okay, well, we can't really comment on it. It does look
Mm,
like they are really underpaying people for their horses.
yeah, I
Um,
was just over wondering if you had overheard prices in your walking back. I'm sure there's been citizens grumbling.
yeah, it looks like they're paying coppers on the gold almost. But what I can
Oh,
tell you is
finally,
this. What I
yes.
can tell you is this. We're going to be, we're watching people leave.
Hmm.
If you head down to the left there by that tree with that person with horses there,
Yeah.
you will not be allowed back in the city. You will not be allowed around any of the other corrals. You
Oh,
will
are those
not.
some of the sick horses?
Yeah, they're pretty bad down there. But that guy's and he's bad too. I mean, it looks like he's caught it, whatever it is.
Oh,
And
well, thank you for the warning.
yeah,
I mean, I'm a healer by trade. I think I could probably fix whatever that stuff is, but I'd rather just not be banned from the city. I'm on business given to us by the palace, so I
okay.
need to get back in town. So, yeah,
Well, be
thank you for the heads up, though. I
no
don't want to
problem.
go over there.
Well, I will tell you when you come back in town, be very careful. As you know from being in the city, you're to avoid the eastern districts for
Oh, yeah,
numerous reasons.
we were over there. We were one of the we're the group that found the first missing child
Oh,
back
very
then.
good then.
Yeah, so
Because I don't know if you're aware, but there's all sorts of rumors over there. But one of the things that is going on is the mudlark seems to be spreading amongst some of the people over there as well now,
oh, really? Oh,
and
that's
it's having some very bad. It's bad.
yeah. I would advise yourself, guardsman, to not. If they ask if you want to volunteer for time over there, don't take the extra pay. Not worth
Oh,
it.
there's no volunteering being asked. It's like if you're being sent there, you're being sent there, which
Well,
usually a lot of people are just quitting.
yeah. Well, with Bacchus's grace, hopefully you're never sent over there. And thank you for
Thank
the
you.
word of warning regarding that one
Uh,
purveyor of sick horses.
yeah, just wanted to let you know. I mean, he's selling them pretty cheap from what I gather, but it's not worth it.
Mm,
It's with what
excellent.
I mean, a lot of people have been dying in the eastern districts for various reasons, but my personal feeling is a lot of it has to do with the mudlarks.
Maybe the mudlarks. There are probably some other things. But if it gets worse in the Eastern District, to be quite honest, I wouldn't even stay in the city. So,
Your little blue friend
ugh.
there, are they sick?
Oh no, they smoked a little bit too much last night. You know how that does to your throat. Too many
Ah,
cigars.
ah.
It was their first time, and they were having too much of a good time. And they woke up with a wicked headache, and their voice sounds very raspy this morning.
Oh, understood, understood. Well, safe travels and good luck with whatever you decide to do.
Yes,
And
thank you. And Bacchus give you aid in your and just looking at the long line, your trials ahead of you today.
yeah, well, we're having to go through everything due to the the terrorist activities in the city
Oh
recently.
yeah, that's
So
wild. Yeah, all those explosions. Mm.
and the burnings and
Well, thank you for your help, guardsman. Have a good rest of your day.
you as well, sir.
Uh, so after leaving him, Paul, I'm curious: do I see like any new people approaching the with horses and stuff like down the road or anything
Okay,
that haven't yet made it to the merchants? I guess.
roll me another 20 sider.
Oh come on, D20, do me right this time. Yes,
Okay.
Bacchus be praised. Specifically, one with a horse for me, Eldred. Another one for most of the tiny people, minimum.
You see two more wagons, and you see a group of about three people that look to be dressed rather nicely on horseback.
Let me know, guys, if you want me to charm anybody. I can try.
Oh, we're gonna hold off on your. I appreciate the thought. The side effects have varied.
That is fair.
I mean, the last time when you grow in 15 feet, super useful.
I will not argue with you.
But I think I will pull a trick out of my hat this time.
You're wearing a
No,
hat?
that's not the thing. No, but I'm using for Eagle Splendor on my enhanceability. So I had to stop rolling dice, computer. It will give me advantage on all of my charisma checks.
Okay.
So persuasion, whatever. Basically, I'm just taking out an eagle's feather, just kind of like rubbing it between my hands. Like, all right, need to get some horses for a
Okay.
reasonable rate. So,
Eldred says, well, it's about time you're pulling him out of your hat for a change. The other places have
well,
always
you
been a
know.
little,
Hey, when in Rome, right?
I do not know of this Rome that you speak of, sir.
Oh, it's a small podunk town next to Ferndown. Anyway, Eldred, you're kind of sneaky. I'm going to go and approach.
I beg your pardon, sir.
You are able to either turn invisible or just so unnoticeable. It's impressive.
I like to think that it is my entirely boring and unassertive personality.
I just thought you were so skinny when you turned to your side. You kind of disappeared. I'm 3-dimensional, so no, I can't do that. No, I think the plan is, I'm going to go and engage those people on horseback that are approaching town, asking to purchase their horses at a reasonable rate. I'm hoping you can go overhear how much these people are going to be ripped off, and we can offer them a reasonable rate.
Okay.
To purchase their horses from them. That way we can, also not get ripped off.
You got it. Eldred walks over and kind of like just looks interested and at various places and walks, kind of gets close to people who are seemingly negotiating and waits a few moments.
He doesn't turn invisible.
And then walks on to another corral and kind of does that he's gone for about 15 minutes and wanders his way back and says, well, looks like it depends on the type of horse you're looking for, because they have ponies, they have riding horses, draft horses. One place said they had a war horse.
Probably a bit much for us. Draft horses or riding horses are probably our best bet, depending upon how big the price difference is. I know riding horses are a little bit faster, but I don't know if that's going to... Depends on cost difference.
Well, it looks like the gist I was getting was that they're offering less than half the value of the horses.
Okay, so they're offering less than half. So if we offer, say, half or a little bit more than half, we're doing that. And is this including like all the saddles and stuff too?
Oh, I didn't get that much.
Well, we'll work that out. But okay, so they're offering less than half price. So let's see, what the hell did we spend on it at the farm? So a draft horse usually cost about 50 gold standard price. So they're probably offering maybe 20 gold if they're doing less than half. So maybe if we offer them maybe 30 a piece, that would probably be fair or fairer, I guess, because we're kind of, as Gaius is feeling his gold bag of money.
Whatever money I have.
I don't know what this. Okay, the people you said that were approaching, we got 3 maybe nobles on decent horses. I'm going to assume at least riding horses, probably.
Right. They look like standard riding horses. They look very nice.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it probably costs too much, or they're overcharged. And then you said there were 2 wagons?
You've got the wagon in the back and the one that's coming closer that has the cart that's really piled high with crates and boxes.
What is it, 2 horses apiece per wagon?
Both of these only have one.
Okay. All right. Shit. We'll see what. I guess we'll. I'm assuming the noble folk, because they're not dragging carts full of crap, are probably ahead of everybody else. So I'll stop and flag them down first.
Okay, this is the one with the pile
The
high.
three. No. Is the three noble people? Are they the first ahead?
No, they're
Like,
behind. There are a
oh, they're
couple
behind
people
everything.
behind
Gotcha.
the cart that's piled very high.
Gotcha.
The other
Yeah. Like,
cart is still in the distance coming your way.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll stop with them first.
Okay.
Hail and well met, sir. Father Gaius. Um, I see you're about to come into Seven Rivers, and word of warning, they're not allowing horses in. I don't know if you're aware of this. Yes. I mean,
The
they
one
are
to
letting.
the one says really the one next to him says they should let us in. I mean, they should know us.
Well, there was a horse plague kind of going on in the city, so they're not. I mean, you'll be able to purchase oxen to replace your horse because you're definitely going to need it looking at your contents. But
These are the nobles
just
you're talking to, right?
sorry, yeah, I'm talking to the nobles first. I was thinking I was talking. Oh yeah, uh, they oh they haven't been letting anybody in with riding horses or draft horses or horses of any kind. Oxen only, unless the horses are of the hansom and cab services on the western side that have been shown to not have any of the horse plague or the mudlarks, I believe is what they're calling it.
The one
I
guy
hate to
says,
tell.
pats his horse and says, "Well, Trigger here is quite handsome, so we should be fine."
Well, um, word of warning, or not word of warning, but a heads up, I guess, if you will. The pointing toward the corrals, because you're not allowed to have horses in. There has been a less than savory group of people basically buying them for less than half price from everybody who goes in.
Interesting.
So I see Trigger is a fine animal, and so are the other two. I just wanted to give you guys the heads up because we're on. Me and my party will be on official palace duty, but because of the horse issue in town, we haven't. We're going to be procuring some out here. But I was wondering if, after you talked to those individuals there and saw that they're probably going to offer you maybe 20 gold for this fine horse, I could probably offer you a more reasonable rate instead. Because, to be quite honest, not trying to swindle anybody, offer a fair rate instead of trying to get ripped off by those gentlemen back there.
The one in the back who hasn't spoken yet says, "Honestly, Bartholomew, just throw him a couple coppers and let us be on our way. If this is indeed the issue, let's go around and enter in through the overlook. It'll just make things so much easier." He
Oh,
doesn't.
gentlemen, if you're going to the Overlook, then that's probably a better spot then. I
Why, thank
know
you, sir.
I don't recognize any of them, Paul. Like, one's not
Give me a history
Lord
check.
Lord Ulrich at any point. History, I have no bonuses. 10.
10. No, none of them look very
No.
familiar to you at all. They just look like stuffy nobles that you've dealt with a number of times.
And please, kind noble, you can keep your coppers. Like I said, I'm on palace duty. I've got to do something out west of the city at the moment, a mission for them. But like I said, the reason why I was interceding on your behalf because I saw how you were arraigned, and I did not want you to be dealt with by these basically horse thieves.
Give me a persuasion roll and roll it twice for me, please.
Okay. Now I have advantage on these. So do I roll twice on advantage?
Sure.
I'm good. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, that's a good thing I got advantage on that. At great time I have advantage on that. All right. And yeah. Okay, so 22 is the highest.
Okay.
Thank Bacchus for my gift of bullshit.
Okay. So you got one high, one low. The one who you've been speaking to says, "Well, I thank you, Father. I think we will take your advice and turn around and head up to the Overlook. Uh, I wish you well on your mission and your mission of faith." And the other one says, "Yeah, palace mission. I swear." And the one in the back just goes, "Huh." But
Would you like
he
to
he,
see the documentation? Whatever.
he puts the coins back in his purse, and they kind of take their horse and get out of line and start
These
going
are
back the way they came.
these are new clothes. Piece of shit. Rich mother. Anyway, so I guess I'll approach some of the wagoneers. The
Okay, you
one
want to
with the
double back a lot first to the
yeah,
one with the
yeah,
okay.
yeah. We'll do them first.
Give me another perception check. Give me a perception check, please.
Perception. All right. 26. What do I see?
Okay. You see, it's a man and a woman in the front. There are some young men sitting on the gate in the back. The horse uh, looks like a strong draft horse, but it is sweating a lot. It looks like
Mm,
this has been pretty
a
rough.
long, hard journey.
The people in the wagon do not look very well off. Uh, they
Mm.
they they don't look a little on the poorer side.
Sir, madam, uh, gentle folk in the back there.
The woman says, "I'm sorry, sir. We don't have a penny to our name, so we
Why does everyone think I'm? No, this is. Granted, yes, I'm a cleric. No, I'm not looking for alms. I'm about to leave Seven Rivers on a mission for the palace. I'm just trying to acquire. I came to warn you that they're probably gesturing back toward the corrals. You're going to be probably. They're going to tell you you're not allowed horses into the city. They will offer, I believe, oxen as a substitute. They will rip you off when they try to buy your horse. I don't know how much they're charging for oxen, but I know this draft horse here. I grew up on a farm. I know you probably spent a good 40, 50 gold on it, and they're
we've
probably
had
gonna.
Bessie here for a while.
They probably are not going to give you much in the way of money for poor Bessie here.
Uh,
If you don't find their business to your liking, I am, like I said, I'm pretty much approaching whoever with a horse. First come, first serve. I will offer you better recompense for your beast. Like I said, I'm on a mission that I need to leave in the next couple of hours. So if you find what they are charging you not to your liking, you can send one of your boys or come by yourself, and we could potentially make a better deal for you.
okay, give me your persuasion check with advantage, please.
All right. 1 and 2. A unnatural 20 or a 19.
The woman says, "He looks like he has an honest face." And the man says, "Yes, dear. Tell you what, good sir. We've been on the road a long way. It's tiring. So make me an offer."
Well, you said you had Betsy for a while. I know for a fact they've been charging less than half price for horses. Um, I'm not 100% familiar with this area. You are obviously more local than I am. How much is the going rate for, say, an oxen, do you think?
Are you asking the farmer or me? The person, I mean.
Uh, yeah, you know what? Paul, I'm asking, would Gaius have an idea of how much oxen
Give me
costs
a
per
history
animal?
check, another history check.
Bacchus, give me. Nope, no. I know what it would cost in my hometown, but not around here.
What would it have cost in your hometown?
Well, let's see. Oxen compared to horse, I would say half the price. of a horse for an oxen, depending because you're say if a draft horse costs 50, we'll say a oxen costs 40.
You have
So
no idea what they're going for here, but
yeah, um, I know. So Betsy here would probably cost you 50 gold when you first got her. And how many years did you say you had her? A while now, right?
yeah, I mean she's been part of the family, but
Oh, of course. How much do you listen? I don't want to do you wrong by and or insult you. What do you think Betsy's worth now to you?
well, as a member of the family, she's worth quite a lot. But like I
As a
said, make
beast
me
of
an offer,
burden,
young man.
I can give you 30 gold, 35 if I can get a saddle and reins with it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's what we'll do. If let us drive over to where the oxen are. You give me 40 now. We'll drive over to where the oxen are, unhook her. She's yours. We'll try to get an oxen and you go about your way. And then this way we don't have to deal with them.
Oh, well, excellent. Then you know what? 40 it is then.
Very good,
Gaius
sir.
reaches into his pouch. And let me tell you, I will do my best to take care of Betsy here and give her. And Gaius is already like reaching in his pockets, pulls out like a carrot, and is giving
Okay.
it to Betsy. It's like, have her pull over, go over where they have the oxen. I'm going to talk to some more people, and I'll meet you over there. Sound good?
Very good.
Okay.
And as they pull out of line and start heading over there, the woman says, "Yeah, he's a nice young man."
So the next wagon, I guess, has it gotten closer with the two horses,
It's
Paul?
gotten closer. You're still going to be walking a little ways.
Yeah, it's like I'll walk a little bit to close the distance, but
Okay.
not going too far.
You get up there. It's a cart that has a couple people, some sitting on top. One person, one young man driving, an older man sitting next to him. It's a single horse. It's a warm day today, and so the horse looks like it's a little tired, but it's a good sturdy draft horse.
Hail, well met, my friends. Father Gaius. I am just give you a heads up. I don't know if you've been to Seven Rivers recently, but they're not allowing horses into the city, and those gentlemen back there at the corral will probably not be offering you a fair deal for your horse if you're planning on trying to go in. I, on the other hand, have business outside of town, and I'm not trying to rip anybody off, and I am planning on offering a much better price for your horse because I'm kind of in a rush. So we're both going to potentially benefit from this, where you actually will get a fair deal instead of whatever. I hear they're charging less than half. They're going to give you less than half the gold value of your horse.
You hear from the back of the wagon one of the people sitting there going, "I told you, Dad. That's what I heard." And the
Now,
older man on the front says, "Shut up, son. I don't need to hear it from both ends."
well, and I don't want to beat a dead horse because that was part of the problem. There was a bunch of dead horses. They
You hear, what
will,
was
if
that?
you
The
want.
horses are dead? What's happening?
The horses were getting sick in the city, and some of them sadly passed away from whatever. So that's why they're not letting any new ones in to get sick and spread it. So I know for a fact that if
You
you
hear
do need,
you hear horses from down the hill by that
yeah,
tree.
you
And
see,
they
you hear
sound
that
like,
nonsense down there. You
yeah.
don't want your horses to catch that. So I know that oxen aren't getting sick with it. They are allowing, if you need an oxen to pull your cart in through the city, they're allowing them. I am pretty much going to offer a fair sum, enough for you to probably buy an oxen here. I already did it with the gesturing back to the folk that back there. I already offered them fair recompense for theirs.
Give me 2 persuasion checks, both with advantage, please. Give me one first.
Okay. 1, 7. All right. And then one with advantage, or
No, this one with advantage too, because your thing's
okay.
still working, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's going for the next hour. So
Okay.
all right. So that's 7 and 19, and then 13 and 15.
Okay, so we'll say 13 and 19 to go opposite that 7. One of the boys in the back says he's probably just trying to get the horses like those other people in the cars. He's just coming out and getting early. And the father says, "Shut up, son. Junior, you go talk to Mr. Carlson, see if he can send something out to get the stuff off the wagon. Uh you said fair, young man. What talk to me about fair. What are you offering?"
I
Granted, be
can
aware I'm familiar with the city. So I know city ways, so don't try to swindle me.
listen, sir. I am actually not of the city. I've just been recently employed by the city. I grew up north of here, past the Green Sea. Believe me, my family are honest farmers. I don't want to swindle another honest farmer. The people that just passed, you can talk to them because they're buying oxen right now. I offered them 40 for their horse Betsy, who is, to be quite honest, not in as good in condition as yours. But I can offer 40 again because I know a draft horse costs 50 normally. But those
Guy
people over
looks at you and
there
goes,
are
"Can
going to
you do
offer you,
45?"
what's the condition of the horse?
It's a good horse. It just looks tired. This horse
If you,
is significantly younger than the other one.
okay, I can give you 45. I get the saddle and the reins for it.
Well, there's no saddle. It's attached to a
It's,
wagon.
oh, it's attached. Well, they don't have any saddle or you don't have a saddle or anything. No, no, no.
No, we're
Well,
we're
it's got the reins and the bit and
yeah,
everything, so it's at
yeah.
least got that. I'll give you. Make sure I have the proper reins, bit, everything.
You got it.
45. What's
And
the
he
horse's name?
says, he goes, "Kid, pull it over there. We're going. Carlson will come out, and it'll be his problem." So he pulls over.
Carlson. What do you have on your cart, sir? Carlson. I can't tell if that's a name I recognize from in town. I was in the market district earlier today.
Give me a history check.
11.
No, the name sounds familiar, but
Yeah.
it could just as well not be.
Where you guys? Have you come from Forest Grove way, by any
Oh,
chance?
no. We're coming north of here,
Oh, okay.
northwest.
Gotcha. No, it's my business takes me out toward Forest Grove area. That's just curious.
Well,
I
lots of
forget what
luck with
merchant
that.
I was talking to. That's why I'm trying to get at least some halfway decent horses to speed me along.
Yeah, I don't know the deal. I hear it's a weird place. So
Forest Grove, really?
yeah, not very friendly
What?
from what I gather.
Okay. This is I've never been there. Like I said, I too am from north of here. Granted, a little further north than you. What's wrong or weird about Forest Grove?
Never been there. I just hear it's. You know how people travel and you talk to them and people are like, "Oh yeah, I love that. Try this or try that." Or the people who are,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, everyone's very nice." I never hear anything like that from Forest Grove. People who've been to Forest Grove.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
The only
Well,
thing I've ever heard is either nothing at all or that was a weird place.
the only thing I heard of, I was talking to a furniture merchant that basically obviously Forest Grove, they have woods. So they get lumber from there and the quality of the stuff is good, I guess. That's about the only other thing I've heard besides the fact that what you're bringing up now, which is, let's be honest, I'd rather trust a farmer than a merchant when it comes to the
Wouldn't
quality of
we all?
certain.
Wouldn't we all?
Indeed.
Only thing
Well,
worse than a merchant is a politician
oh, don't even get me started about that.
or a noble.
Yeah, I just dealt with some of those earlier. They tried offering me coins like I was some beggar because I decided to grace myself with their appearance or some nonsense. Anywho,
Yeah,
yes,
that's them.
Oh, so what's the horse's name, by the way? Does it have a, or are you just not calling it a
Tosh.
horse? Tosh.
Tosh.
Hello. Yeah. Guys reaches into his pocket, pulls out an apple core. He's like, "There you go."
The one boy had gone off and ran up to get in line to get into the city. The kid pulled the cart over to the side into the
Mm.
grass, a little ways off the road, and is already unhooking the horse. The old man looks at you kind of expectantly with his hand out.
Oh, yeah. The guy pulls out, counts out 45. There you go. Now, did you happen to see anyone behind you? I'm hoping to get one more horse today
Uh,
before it gets too late. Did you notice
we've had
anyone
people
follow?
going the other way.
I'm sure you've had, and they probably had to pay some unreasonable fee from these for horses because you can't find them in the city. So,
Really? Not at
FYI.
all.
Oh well, the hat like the cabs, the hansoms, you know, for the rich aristocracy, they still want to ride their fancy cabs. As long as their horses have stayed healthy for some unknown reason.
In the market, can you get oxen?
Oh yeah, you should be able to gesturing to the a very obvious tall thing. It's like yeah, you should be able to get oxen from them. In the city, there are the oxen all over the place, so there's got to be a purveyor in there as well. I don't know where it is in
You
particular, but
you saw oxen in the market.
oh, did I? Okay,
Yeah.
so I relate to them
There's
exactly
you
where the
have
stalls are.
yeah you have like the general goods section that kind of gets
Mm,
broken up into different things, whether it's clothing or tools and stuff like that. Then there's a whole section that's nothing but produce, and then there's a
yeah.
whole section that's nothing but livestock. And
Okay.
you did see oxen in that section, a
Yes.
fair amount of them.
Yeah. I don't know what they're charging comparatively from over there to inside, but you can buy oxen at the market, which isn't too far of a. So if you can get your cart in the city, you could probably just walk, buy an oxen, bring it back to take it wherever you need to in there.
I've been doing business with this guy for a while. I'm sure he'll at least get me in the city, and then we'll take it from there.
If he's any kind of reputable partner in business, he wants to make sure he wants to keep making money. So he will do
Reputable,
whatever
I
it
don't
takes.
know, but he pays fair, and he's never tried to shortchange me. So I've never
Oh,
had to ask any special favors. So this one time, I'm sure he'll be fine. If not, then he won't get his shit. That's his problem.
well, I'm almost certain he's probably if he's any kind of savvy business person, he's probably anticipated this problem. So hopefully he's waiting for you with the answer to said.
I don't know about
Just
savvy, but we'll see, won't we?
FYI, and pointing over to the tree with the one guy and all the sick horses. By the way, don't buy horses from over there, otherwise you're going to get blacklisted by the guard
Very good to know.
on your
And
way out.
besides, those horses don't sound very good.
No, they are quite sick.
And the guy he's looking down the hill at the guy. The guy doesn't look very good either, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, like I said,
One of the boys in the
Gro-
back says, Dad, some of those horses are laying down. That's not good.
yeah. Needless to say, from what I heard from just the guardmans recently, is that whatever was making the horses sick is making some of the people over in the Eastern District sick now. Which so don't go to the Eastern District if you're inside the city. And
Well, the Eastern District is that weird place with
yep, yeah,
the
with the cloud
yeah.
of nastiness, yeah, yeah. Don't go much further east than the market. Basically, is what I'm saying. If you're going to go
Okay.
to Seven Rivers,
Good to
despite
know.
yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to. I don't want to. I'm a cleric of Bacchus. I'm all about the land, growing things. Granted, it's specifically grapes most of the time, but let's be honest, not far from the grain to make the beer, the grapes to make the wine, all that to make the different liquors. But I don't want to see any farmer suffer.
Well, thank you. I thank you, sir. Uh, at this point, they have the horse on detached from the wagon.
Hmm.
There's a bit and some rain's
Yeah.
coming down. And he goes, "There you go. You can take care of Tosh. They've served us well."
Yes.
And the young men and the old man kind of take out what looks like their lunch wrapped in some cloth, and they just sit there starting to eat.
And so we got Tosh, we got Betsy. Do I see any more horses or anyone else approaching the city now, Paul?
Give me a perception check.
Okay, not awful, not spectacular.
You don't see any with horses. You see a couple more wagons with oxen.
Okay, I guess we'll send. I'll have Reed and Nikita. They'll take Tosh to go over to get to Betsy so they can take care of themselves. And then, because there's no one that I see approaching with other horses.
Not at the
Right.
moment.
Not at the moment. I'll go over to the horse thieves. I bet basically, and just see what they're see if I can. Or you know what, Eldred, do me a favor, bud. I'm going to keep a lookout for one more horse. So you and I have a horse, and we can maybe have one of our friends sit with one of us on maybe a third horse or a pony or something for like Nikita, whatnot. See how much we can get saddles for, because we have pretty much everything else but saddles for the horses. So like 3 saddles is kind
Go
of what
find
we're
out how
looking
much
for.
they're charging for saddles.
Yeah, see if that, and like if it's reasonable enough. Otherwise, we could just ride bareback and then pick up saddles in the nearest town.
Okay.
That's
He
along the
heads
way.
off, and now you're sending Nikita and Reed to go get Betsy.
Well, I'll send them with Tosh over. They'll take Tosh to go and make sure they get Betsy from the other.
Okay.
Once they're done with their thing, and just hang out over there. That way, I'm trying to avoid the horse thieves noticing me basically undercutting their business in case I have
Gotcha.
to deal with them at some point.
Okay. Eldred says if they have them, should I just get them? If they're not, like what price is good?
That's an excellent question. What price is good? Saddle cost D&D. Well, I don't I don't want us to accidentally over or undercharge. I'm just being honest.
I know, but it's like you don't
Well,
exactly
I would
have a
I would say
smartphone there to look it up.
I would say Gaius.
Hey, it's a
I would say
stepping
Gaius
stone.
knows. I would say Gaius knows how much a saddle would normally cost. I don't know what they're
Okay.
charging, but I know what it normally costs.
Okay.
It's like when I go to a place and I see the cost of a loaf of bread. Chris, the human being, be like, "That's not what you should be charging for that loaf of bread." For example, I know what a gallon of gas should cost, and it's not $5.
Right. Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Forget where I saw
So,
in the news, like they were talking $6.99, and I was like, Jesus. Anyway.
okay. So, just the standard saddle looks like 5 gold pieces. Just so we're all on the same page. If you agree with that, Paul, you can change that price.
That's for a pack horse.
Oh, saddle for
A standard riding saddle is listed as 10.
Oh, okay. I use the search functionality. It says saddle pack is 5 gold pieces. Okay, so 10.
Yeah.
It's all right. So the average cost is 10.
Yeah.
I don't know any of these things off the top. Chris, don't know this, but Gaius, I would assume, who has had horses in the past, understands the costs, the general costs of them.
Yeah. I'm just
All right.
I'm just being a jerk. It's okay.
Oh, well, I listen. I don't mind getting a little ripped off, but I also want to try to not get ripped off.
Right.
So, listen, Eldred, if they're charging 10 or under for the saddles, just get them.
Okay.
If they're charging like more than 15, we'll ride bareback until we get to the first town, and then just buy saddles there for an actual reasonable cost.
So under 15 is good?
I would say under 15 is good. If you need to haggle, let me know. currently charmed to haggle at the moment. So,
Okay, my thing is, that's a little ways over there now because we keep walking further
oh
away.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, no. So yeah, you know what? Screw it. If it's under 15, just grab them. Like, look at you see I'm pointing toward, the two horses we've gotten, something that'll fit them, and
Okay,
assume we're probably going to get something similar
okay.
Want me to
because
go with
we're not.
Eldred or stay with you?
You know what, but Trumpet, seeing as everybody else has gone away, you hang out with me. And just in case I need you to grow 15 feet tall to intimidate somebody.
Ah, the lovely
Or,
game of chance.
but you know what? But Trumpet, we're going to have to talk about it. What exactly you can do so we know, so we magically can coordinate at some point. Because I don't
For sure.
actually,
We will certainly have to talk about it because I figure out more and more every day.
yes,
What
we'll
I
need
can
to,
and can't do.
we'll need to sit, you know what, maybe tonight we'll sit down at the campfire and talk a little bit about, like, what the deal is with your magic, perhaps. So I can understand and maybe anticipate some of the things that might happen.
Eldred says, "Yeah, but
Hmm.
Trumpet, what is the deal?" He says, "I'm
Saddles,
going to go get
Eldridge.
saddles."
Saddles, Eldridge, please. Uh, and then I guess we're just going to hope
As
and
Eldred
wait
goes
for.
to leave, he turns to you, but Trumpet, he goes, "Don't take his crap." And then he turns and heads off.
What crap? I'm the most straightforward person here.
Yeah, it comes off kind of like you're a dick sometimes, though.
What? No, it's. Does it?
A little bit.
Oh, Bacchus. Oh.
That's kind of why I give you so much attitude because it kind of sounds like you're giving it to me.
Attitude? No, I just don't. I guess I don't know how to inflect my voice properly. Maybe that's it. I spent a lot of time in an abbey, literally just talking to myself as I tended grapes and stuff, right? You know what doesn't talk back? Plants. At least, not that I'm aware of. Oh,
I
God, could
mean,
I
give
learn how
it
to talk to
time.
plants?
Who knows where we'll go?
Man, I would really like to know what the grapes think before I crush them and turn them into wine. Oh,
Ooh.
God,
Probably
that's an
please no out
existential
of the
horror.
family.
Well, they have also a short lifespan. Anyway, they're supposed to be removed from the plant. So as long as the vines stay alive, they're good. Aha! As long
So
as we're taking the
anyway,
seeds from the grape and using them to. Yeah, anyway, yeah, sorry. Listen, if you get me talking about vintnering, yeah, that's how you say that. Can't shut me up. Anyway, is there anyone approaching now? They've bullshitted enough. Looking for what? One more horse. We got enough for the tall people, and then maybe have Butt Trump and ride with one of us.
Nah,
see, that's
you
the
don't.
thing. Like, Eldred's pretty skinny, so he could probably handle two small people, and you could probably handle one small person.
I
I'm
guess
just saying.
so.
Like, it would be a tight pinch, but, like, if we have no other options.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what Eldred turns up with the saddles, and if by the time he gets back, if he has three saddles, we'll just save one for and hope and get a horse at another town on the way, maybe perhaps
Yeah. Or who knows? Maybe I'll, try to
turn
charm
into
a
a horse,
bug, and maybe by chance I'll turn into a horse, right?
or the bunny will get large enough that some of us could ride it. Could be a
Perfect.
thing.
So we'll keep that in the back pocket.
Yes.
Some time goes by, and Eldred, Nikita, and Reed come back with two horses, Tosh and Betsy, and they have a saddle on each of them.
Ah,
Um,
excellent.
Yay!
one is a standard draft horse saddle. The other one is kind of weird. It looks like a normal saddle, but it's got like blue leather and red leather and yellow leather, all kind of looks like the saddle equivalent of a clown car.
Or a vocal
Okay.
exercise.
So which one's Betsy wearing again?
Betsy is wearing the colorful one. Tosh is
Okay.
wearing a normal draft horse saddle.
Okay. Well, it doesn't look like we're getting any new horses.
Eldred
Eldred,
said
excellent
they
job on
cost
the
13 gold apiece.
good job, buddy.
He wanted
Uh,
16 for him. I was able to get him to 13.
excellent. Excellent haggling. Any magic involved? Did you promise to smite him with your wizardly powers? Hit him with a stick in
Maybe.
the knee and run away?
Well, there's also a charm person, so
Oh shit! So we have a time.
yeah, we
We
should
need to
probably
leave
be on
then.
our way. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent work. You did such a good job. You get the one with the colors.
Yeah. Kind of thought that was going to be the way it was going to go. All right.
Well, that and anywho. All right, so
So
we'll.
Eldred then says, "Okay," leans down to Butt Trump and goes, "You want to ride with me? Come on up." And pulls Butt Trumpet up on the saddle in front of Eldred, lifts you up, puts it, says, "Let's go."
And I pick up Reed and throw him on Eldred's back. There you go, buddy.
And you see Reed go, "Watch my bunny."
Imagine it's just
Tie a
like
little shoelace to
strapped
its
to the
neck and
back,
like
just swinging back and forth and just smacking against the horse's head behind.
Reed is on the back, not actually on the saddle, because the saddle is filled with Butt Trumpet and Eldred. And
Oh,
Reed's on the back with his hands around Eldred, and you see him kind of slide to one side and then the other, and he's having a little bit of a tough time, but he's managing.
get on my new horse Tosh off her hand to Nikita and just pull them up and onto the back of the horse.
She says placebo or whatever it is she says.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Fake medicine. Ho!
it's like she's here.
So do you just head off?
You head off down the western road. At least to gain enough distance from Eldred's charm spell victims. Eldred, these horses were worked pretty hard, but pulling up next to them. Once we get out of sight, out of mind, let's pull them off the road real quick. We'll water them and let them rest for a little bit,
Okay.
and then we'll ride until it's almost dark, and then we'll set up camp somewhere, I guess. Butt Trumpet, seeing as you and I'm riding next to you. I have to ask, like the growing large thing and all that, those seem to come as a surprise to you. I guess what I'm curious about is, do you know some spells natively, correct? Like, you don't
Well,
refer to a book like Eldred does. You seem to know them innately, correct?
I've always been able to make things happen, and I've never really been particularly trained, and it wasn't really until I had been working with my master, Alistair, that I really began to harness anything and realize that it could actually be spells that I was doing. So
Hmm.
honestly, this is all still very new to me, and I kind of figure out little by little as I go what I can do, but clearly it's not really in control. So I'm hoping that practicing with Eldred might help.
I'm sure that will help. I'm noticing that some of it just seemed like you said you've just always been naturally able to do this, which actually kind of sounds closer to how I do magic because I don't learn it by rote. I don't read a bunch of books. It's just kind of a gift from the gods, the land, whatever spirits, whatever you want to quantify my religion as. So I guess, like you, I've kind of had a touchstone with magic ever since I was young as well. So I'm curious because of the way I guess been gifted. I have the ability to access like all the magic that I'm capable of harnessing. Whereas Eldred, on the other hand, he learns it, and then if he can record it, ultimately he could end up learning much, much more. But it seems like you are to a degree like me. You don't learn through reading about a spell. It just is a part of you. The magic is there in you naturally. I'm just curious, have you discovered what kind of magic you can do so far? Like, I've noticed you've been able to hurl a caustic acid, um, fire a bolt of force, and then, granted, there are sometimes summoning a whole bunch of rabbits was obviously not your intent.
Yeah, that was new. That was definitely new and not the intention whatsoever.
So,
But boy, is the
what I'm
aftermath of that been interesting.
and then there was the spires of rock that you did that I wasn't there for, but obviously I heard about, and then the
Hmm.
enlarging spell that sort of affected you. So I guess I'm not necessarily focused on those because that seems to be a byproduct of how you cast magic. The
It
ones
sort
that
of
you
seems
do
to
in
be an up in the air sort of thing. Sort of, there's always
well,
a
it's
chance that something like that might happen.
but yes, the point I'm trying that I'm going for is the intentional things you can do. I'm curious to see like what you can intentionally do. Now, granted, there are byproducts because of how you cast magic that we are going to have to just accept. But I'm curious, like for example, I have the ability, summon a magic weapon. I can heal. I can cure certain sicknesses. I can enhance our friends in different ways. I'm curious if you feel anything that you can do that is something that you can do consistently, I guess is the best way I'm going. The word I'm looking for, maybe.
I don't necessarily know if consistency is going to be guaranteed on anything that I do,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest. I really can't give that as a guarantee. Like, you've seen the things that I can do so far, but figure out a way to control it or understand what
Mm.
it even is, there's always going to be a chance that something will go awry, whatever it is that I try to do. However consistently I might try and go back and do what I remember how to do, there's always a chance that something will happen from the looks of it. And this is the
Oh
most I've ever
yes,
exercised this.
I have a feeling that when am around when you're casting, I sense that is always the power of potential with you. So I'm thinking, I was just curious, like, for example, I know that there's a spell for invisibility. Do you happen to know that one? Like, was there anything your teacher
Not
taught
at the
you that's
moment.
kind of stuck with you? Okay. Well, I have a feeling that there might be a couple tricks up your sleeve, if you will, that you could probably perform on a regular basis. Now, granted, there might be side effects when you do that. That's not necessarily what I'm concerned with, even though yes, I should be. It's more of just in a party together when we're doing things. If I can turn to Eldred and I know he can light things on fire and then disappear. For the moment, you Butt Trumpet are a wild card when it comes to use a gambling parlance. When it comes to what's going to happen.
Eldred leans forward and says to you, Butt Trumpet, "Wild card sounds exotic and exciting. I like that."
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's more of just if you can anticipate not what your more unquantifiable nature, but more of like what you're trying to do. Say if you have the ability to shoot laser beams out of your eyes, or
What's a laser beam? Eldred says.
oh, magic beams,
Can you do
concentrated
that?
energy. I read a story about it. I'm hoping that's something I can get at some point, but I can shoot magic white guiding bolts out of my hand. So at some point, magic beams out of my eyes could be a thing.
So you haven't had a chance to see the updated the actual map, so I put that up here
Okay.
for you. If
Excellent.
you need me to point anything out, if you need me to zoom in on anything, let me know.
Okay. Just out of character, Paul. I guess at some point, could you send me like a document through email so I could potentially reference this map now that we own it?
Yeah, I
Just
can do
so
that.
like you don't always have to bring it up, so I can potentially look at it and.
Well, I have it in Foundry now, so anytime you need
Oh,
it,
do you have it in front? Okay.
yeah, we can bring it up anytime you need it.
So looking at the map, it looks like there are smaller. Sorry, guys. Breaking out the map as we're riding. So it looks like Forest Grove is kind of off the main beaten path. We could take the main road and take a hard left through Stoats Hole. That's a name. And then I guess kind of connect with another road to get up into Forest Grove. Or it looks like there is a side road that pretty much goes past Stoats Hole, and that's the one we would connect with that would lead to Forest Grove as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, what's the difference between the dotted lines and the main lines, Paul?
Okay, the white lines are rivers, the dotted lines are roads.
Oh, the dotted lines. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, it looks like we take the leftmost fork when we get to it, and we'll pass Stoats Hole, and maybe we can pick up another horse and saddle there before we get to Forest Grove, which, by the way, may or may not have good things to be said about it.
Eldred says.
Oh yeah, when I was talking to one of the merchants when we were by Tasha's owner actually, patting Tosh and giving her a sugar cube, or him a sugar cube,
You'd have to look.
whatever, doesn't matter, don't care.
It's Pride Month.
Giving them a sugar cube. I'll embrace the ambiguity. Well, apparently, Forest Grove, they haven't heard anything positive about it. When we were Amity Way, you'd say, oh, go to Fern Down because they're the only place with a bar, or they have a decent market. Apparently, Forest Grove has got nothing to say about it, which is in itself peculiar. And I don't know what Stoats Hole is, but apparently that's a place as well. And judging by the map, it may or may not be in the mountain. More like hills than mountains. But hole implies maybe a mine or something. So I guess, Paul, for you, we'll probably. Is the fork a reason too far of a distance to travel before we rest the horses, or? Because the way you described it, both of these horses probably were working a little too much.
Well, you got the feeling that they were probably traveling all day.
Yeah. So I'm like, I want to travel outside of the horse purveyor's eyesight to at least, rest and rub down the horses and give them water and some food.
You're kind of you've been headed down the road, I assumed.
Yes.
So you're kind of out of their purview as it is anyway.
Yeah, so at some point we'll just stop to water the horses, give them a break, let them, graze for a little bit if that's possible. It doesn't look like it's too forested around here at the moment. So.
I mean, there are trees here and there and little batches of trees here and there, but for the most part, it's not a forest. It's just kind of standard
plains
land.
plains with with trees.
Yeah, with trees, little
not a forest.
Copse of trees and stuff like that.
Meadows. Gotcha. Yeah.
So you travel a couple hours and you come to a wooden bridge. Actually, no, this one's stone over the river. That's wide enough for two wagons to pass each other.
So, judging by the map, that's that first crossover point before it looks like there's another one where there's a bridge that goes back over the river again.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
All
that's what
right.
it looks like.
That's well. Hopefully, this map is right, or otherwise we're screwed.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That would really suck, wouldn't it?
anyway, we cross the river
Okay.
over the bridge.
Okay, you cross over the bridge. You go about another 2 hours, and there's a 2 to 3 hours. There's another um, bridge that goes back over the river, and you can continue along the edge of the lake. Now, the lake's maybe 100 yards to your left.
Yeah, we
Um,
continue left,
yeah,
like following the lake edge, if you will.
yeah. The second bridge is not as it's a wooden bridge, and it goes across to a road that looks to head in the northwestern direction. And the road continues along the river for a while, and it's beginning to get dark when you're kind of just at the edge of the river's about ready to turn north.
Okay, I guess we'll keep an eye out for a good spot to stop for the night and rest the
Okay,
horses, and
you
maybe
you have
staying by the river is good. That way, we got the source of water and everything.
okay. Somebody give me a survival roll.
I got that.
Yeah.
The dupe. Oh wow, 11 still though.
Okay.
I could also do one.
Go ahead, Butt Trumpet. Let's see how that goes.
Thank you for the vote of confidence.
Guys!
Philly, where's my...
Marcus, bless this roll.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, Butt Trumpet's. I don't know that they've ever been out of his city, really.
Nope, and it shows.
Yeah, add a D4 to that. You could potentially pass me.
Okay, well then, never mind.
If you want to just hit the four-sider and roll that.
Nope. All right.
Okay.
It was a good.
So you were
try.
saying?
Butt Trumpet goes, this is a lovely patch of earth over here to the side of the road that's flat. Guys, you notice you could go a little closer to the river. There's maybe a tree in the distance here that you could get under, and
Yeah, let's head over to the tree by the river there. We'll just kind of stop and point, get the cover of the tree in case it starts to rain, potentially. Don't sleep too close to it because the roots are going to be a pain in the back for some.
okay.
So basically, and also there's probably a little bit of deadfall from the tree that guys will collect to start a fire and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. One of the two of you roll me a 20-sider, please.
I'll do it. Try it again.
Have at it.
Ah, very good.
Ah.
Okay, you make camp, you get a fire going, you have some food. Did you buy? You didn't buy provisions, did you?
We did. I
You did?
specifically did that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we use butterbeer to do
Right.
most of the provisioning.
To provise.
You have a nice meal, and you setting up. What are you doing when you go to sleep?
Well, everybody. Now that we're out amongst the wild, if you as guys kind of looks around giggling, wild, we still want to have a watch set. So I'm thinking there is myself, Butt Trumpet, Nikita, Reed, and Eldred. We each take turns doing about an hour and a half worth of
Okay.
watch.
Eldred says,
That'll
"I'll
get
go
us-
last, so I can just study afterwards."
That works great. I really wish Viv didn't have her thing because she could literally just stay up for half of the night. But none of us have been graced with elfish kind of fortitude or whatever the heck they have that allows them to stay up at night.
Um,
So we'll just take turns. So We'll have Eldred go last. Butt Trumpet, do you have a preference?
No, I mean, I'll go somewhere in the middle. I don't think I should be first.
Okay. How about Reed? Reed, you take first watch because you and I have shit dark vision, but I'm at least somewhat perceptive.
My bunny will
Nikita,
protect us, he says.
yep, that's why you'll go first. Nikita, you have superb night vision compared to the rest of us, so I guess you could probably do the middle-ish of the watch along with me, or one of
Placebo.
us. Yes, placebo.
Placebo.
Gesundheit.
Okay. You go. The night is
Dark and full of
incredibly
terrors.
dark because you're out in the middle of the wild. You notice that butt trumpet. One of the things that you notice that is brand new for you is you never realized there were so many stars in the sky because you've always kind of seen the sky from the city or a city. So to see this sky that just looks like a sparkling piece of blackish blue velvet with all these little sequins all throughout it is amazing to you.
Yay.
It's a
That's
very
wholesome.
it's a very restful night for all of you. You notice that the babbling of the river as it goes by is very calming and relaxing. Every now and then you can hear something from the river, like a bloop or a little splash, things like that. But nothing that gives anyone any cause to be nervous. And you wake up the next morning.
Oh, gosh. That was almost more comfortable than the bed.
That was very peaceful.
Oh, yeah. No, it's, this is kind of what I grew up around. And, you don't really notice missing that thing until you're stuck in a city with light pollution, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Nothing like falling asleep under the stars with a little light from the campfire crackling. But anywho, let's eat up, get the horses going, and hit the old dusty trail.
You get back on the road and you travel throughout the day, very much the same. And someone roll me a 20-sider, please.
I can do it
Trumpet,
again.
go! Ooh. What noise was
Butt
that?
trumpet go, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
Well, you rolled well the last time.
The road gets to some points where it gets a little precarious. It looks like some parts have maybe been washed out from rain and such, so it makes it a little slower going. The horses are sturdy and seem to be okay, but there's a couple ditches and such that you have to be careful about. It slows you up a little bit, but you make do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no incidents. Every now and then you see someone walking by the other way or things like that, but you make it through the day fine. Someone want to give me a survival check for the night?
I will attempt it again. Sure.
Okay.
Survival, go. Oh, much better. 26.
Okay. You find a perfect spot that just seems devoid of rocks with some fragrant soft
like
grass.
A nice meadow with, oh my god, yeah.
Just a beautiful open sky. And someone roll me a 20-sider, please.
I can try it again.
Okay.
One more time. You got it. Hey, see?
There you go.
Hey.
You make it through the night without a problem. And you get up the next morning and you have your meals and you get on the road. And we'll speed a few things up. Somebody roll me a 20-sider.
How about you take it this time?
Yeah. Let's just spread out the blame. Gotcha. There you go. Now it's my fault.
Okay. Okay,
Ooh, sick
Didn't know
horses.
that. Okay. No. It's 6 something else.
it's a speedboat on the lake.
Yeah. Oh.
It's a
The,
speed
So
dragon boat.
that's what they're using the magic for now, huh?
There you go.
Rich.
it's a
Rich
paddle boat
bastards.
that everyone's on crack and going really, really fast.
There you go.
Yes. Magic
Um,
crack.
so we'll say you go 3 more days, seeing the occasional wagon go by, the occasional person walking, the occasional person on a horse. Someone give me a couple 20-sided rolls. Each of you give
I'll
me
do it.
one. Each of you give me one. Matter of fact, each
All
of
right.
you give me it with roll it like with advantage or without, just because it's going to be the equivalent of 2
Each
rolls.
give you 2.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
each of you give me 2 20-sided rolls.
Giving you 2 20s. I am. A 13 and a 19.
Bam!
Okay.
Yikes.
So, butt trumpet.
Yes.
About 3 nights later, it's your watch. I think Nikita went before you, and then it's you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a dark night. It's peaceful. Everything seems to be going the way it's been going, with very nice evenings. But you then you think you hear something in the distance. You hear something moving. I mean, you're not exactly sure what it is, because you
They're a city person. They're not.
right. You hear something, and it sounds like it's up on the road. But at the moment it sounds like it's far away.
Okay. Does this sound anything like what we dealt with in the splatter fields?
No. It
Okay.
doesn't. It's like it doesn't. You hear something and then you hear nothing, and it's just you can't really make out what it is. Give me a perception check. Okay. No. That's fine. That's fine. There's a moon out tonight.
Ooh.
If you were to kind of step out this way a little bit, down the road to the west of this, there appears to be something large on the road.
Oh!
And it kind of looks like it's coming in your direction. It's big and it's round. And you're not 100% sure, but it looks like it might have like things sticking up out of the top of it.
I think I'm gonna nudge Gaius awake and whisper quite hurriedly, Gaius, there's something huge coming for us. I don't know what it is, but it's headed this way. It's big and it's round and it's got stuff.
All right. Okay. Gets up. Well, let's get everything out in the open. And then he reaches into his pocket. Where was it? What trumpet?
Down the road, to the west.
How far? Ish.
No idea. Just down that way.
Okay. Gaius pulls a copper, or does, you know what? Reaches down, picks a rock up, a pebble off the ground, something small, easily thrown, holds it in his hand, casts light, but has a closed fist on it so it doesn't project,
Okay.
and then kind of just
Okay,
tosses it
you're
in
back by a copse of trees at
Oh.
the moment. You're off the road.
Okay, gotcha. So I will
Because
kind
Butt
of-
Trumpet went up to the road, saw it, and then came back and woke you up.
So I'll go to the edge of the copse of trees,
Okay.
and when I kind of see the silhouette of the thing that they were talking about,
You do. Well, you know what? Give me a perception check. And take advantage, because there's a pretty bright, it's not a full moon, but there's a decent size, there's a
Gotcha.
fair amount of moonlight out.
18 is
18.
the higher of the two.
Okay, down the road, you see something large and kind of roundish. And there's things kind of coming out of the top of its head, a number of them. And it just seems to be kind of moving like this in your direction down the road.
Do I hear anything?
No.
All right. So I have the rock in my hand. I cast light on it, but I have it palmed enough
Right.
where like it's not projecting anything.
Right.
And then I kind of just lob it in that direction to just get an idea of what it is.
Okay, give me a to hit roll.
All right. I will.
This thing's big. It's
Yeah. I'm not necessarily going to try to strike it. I'm just trying to get it nearby.
Right.
So it illuminates.
Okay.
9. Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, we are not equipped to handle anything confrontational.
Oh, I can. It's just most of my stuff is kill or be killed kind of things.
Okay, you throw it, and we'll say it lands like to the side of the road,
Mm-hmm.
and the shape is kind of just out of the range, but you see it stops. You see it kind of start to kind of move backwards a little bit and off the road a little bit the opposite side of the road.
Okay.
Very slowly.
Hello. So I break the light spell on the pebble I threw.
Uh-huh. So it goes out?
Yeah, it'll go out. Does that change any does that do anything to it?
You can kind of still see a just a silhouette of it, because the sky there's moonlight,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of there's still some clouds in the sky and everything, so it's not shining like bright light. It's more kind of giving everything a blue glow to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can see this silhouette of dark blue against the rest of the world over there. It's just it's staying still.
So
And like I say, it's an oblong, roundish kind. It's not perfectly round. It's kind of oblong, and it's just got a bunch of stuff sticking out of the top.
gotcha. So I'll walk into the middle of the road away from my party.
Okay.
Just to give them some, and then I will cast light on my shield,
Okay.
and just kind of hold it over my head. I'm a cleric of Bacchus, and I only mean peace. I just want to make sure that you do as well.
Butt Trumpet, what are you doing?
I'm actually debating whether Gaius would want me to cast dancing lights to maybe send a couple orbs in the direction it went. But I don't know if I saw where it went.
Give me a perception check. Okay.
Oof.
We'll say that you basically have a general idea, because you can kind of see this large silhouette a little bit off to the side.
Then I'll Gaius, do you want me to send dancing lights over to it?
And you see behind his back, he kind of gives you the come on gesture,
You realize that Gaius is about 25 to 30 feet away from you, so you know.
Yeah, well, I figure I'm illuminating myself, so they should be able to see me at night. I put my other hand behind my back and just yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I toddle a little bit closer, and I cast dancing lights, and I send one of the orbs into the direction where the creature loped off to.
Give me a perception check with advantage there, Butt Trumpet. Are you moving a little closer as well?
Yeah, to Gaius.
Okay.
15.
15, very good. At first, you notice the large thing start to shake a little bit, and then as you're what's the distance on dancing lights?
120 feet.
Okay. As you send one of your lights out there, it gets closer and it's like this grayish brown, large, oblong thing. And it takes a while, but it looks like sprouts of tree branches or something sticking out of the top of this large, brownish, gray kind of oblong, roundish thing.
What the? It's like a giant hedgehog.
And you do hear like almost like a rattling, but it sounds a lot more organic, almost like if you heard a high wind go through a brush pile.
Well, I think whatever it is, it's scared.
It or they? It's okay. You, you know what? I've been using pretty much pure white light at this point. I turned my light to like maybe like a purple or something, just something that's not as harsh.
Okay.
And I can pull my orb back.
Like I said, we mean you no harm. It is just that when things travel at night, we have to be cautious. Can you speak?
Give me a perception check there, guys, with disadvantage, and you'll understand why eventually.
Yeah. So 15, 15 or 19. So 15 is my perception.
Okay. You hear something, but you can't make out higher pitched, kind of gravelly noise. It sounds like it might be speech, but you're not 100% sure, but it's very faint.
I kind of flag butt trumpet back as well, and I step off the road a ways, just, a little bit. You may pass. I won't stop you.
Okay, this shape
See if it
kind of
understands.
stays still for a little bit, and after about a minute or two, starts to move very slowly back onto the road and in your general direction.
Mm-hmm. I've stayed close enough so I can get a good look at whatever this might be.
Okay. And you keep hearing that as it moves now, you're hearing that sound of it's almost like a breeze through a brush pile rattling kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a little while until it gets closer. And at first, you're not sure what it is until it gets pretty close and realize that it seems to have 3 legs, is the first thing you notice. Very, very thin legs, almost like sticks. And then as it gets a little closer, you realize that it only has 2 legs, and the third one is actually a staff. And what you have here is an elderly woman with a huge sack of twigs on her back that's all bound up, and she's just moving very slowly, and she's kind of mumbling to herself as she's going along with this kind of scratchy voice as she's walking along. She's moving very slow, and this sack of twigs, it's like big brush, is easily 3 to 4 times the size of her body that she's carrying.
Okay, old grandmother, please take the blessing of Bacchus with you on this night.
Thank you, shiny person.
I'm sorry if I caused any fear. My God has blessed me with certain magics, as you can see. I was only worried about my party members. Are you in need of sustenance? Do you need to warm yourself by a fire before you continue on your way?
I would be very thankful for that. You scared the bagoogans out of me. I,
To be quite honest, your silhouette was more intimidating than you probably anticipated. But please, come over. And Gaius starts adding brush and a couple logs to the fire that is, for the most part, like going down to embers. I would assume at this point.
yeah, you say
And
you were more intimidating than you realize, and you hear kind of like a wheezy, scratchy laugh, giggle like
that's a
that.
laugh right there.
That's
Please,
funny.
uh, grandmother, please have a seat. Have some of our
Oh, thanks.
rations. Have some wine. Enjoy the warmth of the fire.
She sets the the bundle down. It almost takes her over with it. You hear the thing kind of just clatter to the ground, but stays intact. It seems to be bound really good. And she says, "My gods have blessed me with a strong back, but fear like that sometimes will starve this old heart. I'll tell you."
I'm just glad that we didn't startle you too much. It's just some of my companions haven't been on the road as frequent as I. Some of them are, city folk.
Ah,
They startle easily. I must
city
ask.
folk are scary.
Well, yes, they can be, but they can also be scared easily when they're out in the woods for too long. Grandmother, I was curious. Where do you hail from? Are you from Stoats or maybe Forest Grove?
I, I I'm just a little north of Stoats Hole. Yeah.
We're we're from coming at least from Seven Rivers. I would not claim to be a member of that city. Um, we'll be passing Stoats and then on to Forest Grove to assist in a missing child problem. I was curious. You are from north of Stoats. I was wondering if you have any news or anything of interest for travelers to know.
It's hot out, so you gotta be careful. That's why I travel at night. I take my bundles of twigs into the city, and they give me coppers for them so I can survive. But I can't deal with the heat, so I just travel at night. I don't sleep well at my age anyway.
Understandable. Um, I'm curious. Stoats Hole. Is it possible that we could purchase a horse there? We have enough, but we could probably use one more. Do you know if anyone sells anything out that way? I've never been to the town myself.
Yeah, I usually avoid it. It's
Oh, really? How
well,
come?
it's kind of a traveler's way stop. That's about it.
Hmm.
There are a
Okay.
couple people there. Sometimes there's some shifty people who stop in there, and well, I gotta look out for my safety at my age. I'm not as
Completely
hardy as
understandable.
I once was before. I'd beat those rustlers bottoms, but can't do that
Oh, I bet.
anymore at my age.
Understandable. Understandable. Okay, so Stoats Hole is more of a waypoint. Have you heard, because you're from north of Stoats, have you heard anything about the town of Forest Grove at all? I have never been there.
I
I've
don't
heard,
go out that far west. I just
mhm.
strange place I've heard though.
I have heard that as well. What stories have you heard? I'm curious because I, being a cleric, I I'm a sort of learned man, read some books, but I enjoy a good tale like pretty much anyone else. And then he
Ah,
pulls out a book. He's like, I've been trying to keep a journal of what I've been up to and of the areas because I'm actually north of the Green Sea. So this is all very new to me, and I find pretty much anything interesting.
well, from what I've heard,
Hmm.
Forest Grove is a very, very, very old settlement. But Forest
Interesting.
Grove itself is not. The original Forest Grove was cursed. You
Okay,
said
that is
something about
interesting.
wine
Oh yeah, and then
and
guys pulls a
victuals.
wine. Guys pulls out a wine sack and then passes along some of the decent fare because he bought like half good and then like because what was it like 2 weeks there, 2 weeks back,
Yeah,
Paul? That was what. So we bought 2 weeks of good stuff and then enough supplies for like a month of just
gotcha.
to live on. But he's treating her proper, giving her some
Okay.
good stuff. The wine.
She's kind of she looks like she was really hungry, and the wine she's drinking even dribbles down her side of her out the corner of her mouth a little bit. See, she doesn't have a lot of teeth. Um,
Mm.
and she's going, I thank you, sir. This is wondrous. Uh, but yeah, the Forest Grove, from what I hear, was not always called Forest Grove. I don't know what it was originally called, but the original town was cursed. I think they made a deal with a demon of some sort, and
Okay.
then everyone left that cursed town to where they are now. But some say that the demon's curse followed them. But this
Oh,
is very old.
so the town that now exists of Forest Grove isn't the original location
That's
of.
right.
Okay, and the potential townsfolk are cursed from the past. That is a very interesting story.
They
Cursed amongst the bloodline and not upon the location. Hmm.
absolutely. You got that. It's like you heard this story before, young man.
Well, as I said, I'm a follower of Bacchus, but I spent a good time in an abbey reading copious tales of people making deals with things, and some good, some bad, and I know for a fact that there's in fact maybe some people that have been gifted magic because of deals they have made with both good and unsavory types, if you will.
Well, there's rumors that magic was involved, but those mountains and those black hills, no good can come from. There's just nastiness and evil in them hills. So when you go, stay out of the woods and stay out of the mountains. Your soul will depend on it, from what I hear.
Well, I have we've been dispatched to help assist with a missing child. So I hope we find him in someone's cellar and not in the mountainous forested region around Forest Grove. I'm
In their
sure that's
cellar,
probably.
that's really messed up, young man. You got a twisted mind on you.
I was thinking maybe the kid got lost or was hiding there because he was
Ah,
ashamed of something.
I guess that's city thinking. I was going a totally other direction.
Oh, it's city thinking. No, I was more of like the kid didn't do his chores, so he was hiding because he was afraid of being caught, kind of thing.
Ah,
Not, Loon Boy or whatever it was.
what?
Nah, don't worry about it. It's a tale from up north. Um, well, yes, grandmother, thank you for your stories and your time. I hope
She
you've
says,
enjoyed.
"Thank you for I have. I've enjoyed the victuals and the wine, and really appreciate it." And I think you said something about some alms or some money for a
You
poor
know
old
what?
woman.
You know what? I didn't, but pulls out 5 coppers. I'm sure this will help you with your stick selling.
Thank you, Sonny. Would you like some sticks for this?
Oh, I think we'll be fine. You know what? You keep a hold of those because you'll get more for the bundle if it's that large.
Darn tootin', it takes me a while to gather these at my age.
Yeah.
But can't start a fire without wood, so
Nope. It's certainly indeed, and I think at this point, guys, feels like he's probably got as much information from her as possible. So we'll be graciously like, and I need to go to sleep now.
she
It's kind
she
of
says she looks at you and says, "You're A big, strong, handsome young man, aren't you?
I am all those things, yes.
You look like you got some good muscles on you, young man.
Okay.
Uh, do you think you could find it deep inside yourself to let me have a little use of those muscles?
For what?
Getting this sack of twigs back on my back is gonna kill me.
Oh, yeah, sure. No problem. Guys picks it up and puts it on her. And you
Okay,
know what?
she's got this weird kind of setup of straps and stuff that she ties and ropes and
Mhm.
everything to kind of keep it on her back, and she's kind of hunched over like the shape of a question mark by the time she's ready to go again.
Oh, and grandmother. May Bacchus lighten the load for at least a little bit. And I cast Enhance Ability on her
Okay.
and give her bull strength,
You
which
say,
will.
can Bacchus aid you? What did you say?
Oh, and may Bacchus aid you at least for a little while in your journey.
You say that, and she says, "Oh, is that one of your little friends over there? Are they going to help me?"
No, that is the god I support. And then I kind of just touch her on the shoulder and cast Enhance Ability. It's like, you will have the strength of a bull for the next hour, grandmother. So use it wisely. And she now has advantage, technically has advantage on strength checks, and her carrying capacity doubles.
Oh, wonderful!
So
You
cuts the
hear
weight
her
in
make
half.
another wheezing kind of laugh and a giggle. She goes, "Hoo-hoo! I'm ready to do things that I've forgotten about. I think, boy,
Oh,
thank you, young
well,
man."
you're welcome. That lasts about an hour, so just be prepared for that.
Ah, wish my old Harold was still alive. He could. Anyway, I better get on my way.
Please, yes, with less description. Thank you.
And she kind of just slowly waddles off
Yeah,
with a little bit more of a perk in her step as she goes on.
yeah.
Um,
Be right
Takes a
back in a
good
second, boss.
hour or so before she's at the silhouette's out of sight.
Yeah.
You hear Gaius watch the old woman go off, and then steps back and trips over Nikita and falls over.
Can't help
So,
but find that incredibly amusing.
so we'll say you wake up the next morning, and butt trumpet, roll me 3 20-siders, please. I'm not sure where Gaius went, but it's all on you for right now.
No pressure or anything.
Right.
There was a 4, a 17, and an 11.
I just heard the crashing of bottles and him kind of swearing, and then he was gone.
He's dead.
Well, they're dead.
Whoop! I hear a door.
Let's see. Oh, he's back.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. So
The wild called, or some call it nature.
Butt Trumpet understands the call of the wild.
Yes.
They've had a wild magic surge on more than one occasion.
Oh dear.
Anyway,
Yes.
So
we're so close.
they've to speed things up a little bit.
Mhm.
They rolled a couple rolled a couple 20-siders. So you go a couple more days. The weather looks a little cloudy on a few of them, and you're a little worried it might rain. Um, and things seem to go okay. You don't see too many people. There's at one point you see about 3 wagons go by, and like they just don't even look at you as they go by. They just kind of make sure they look down.
Mhm.
Um, but on the third night, Gaius, where is your watch?
I put myself somewhere in the middle, I guess, just because I know I'm probably one of the more outdoorsy of the group.
Okay,
So
because you put Nikita in the dead middle. Uh,
yeah,
And
So
Butt
if
Trumpet
Butt
didn't want
Trumpet,
to go first, so they're kind of between Nikita and
so I go
Eldred.
right after. So I go right at.
Right before
Oh,
Nikita?
so yeah, right before Nikita. Yeah.
Okay. Give me a
So
perception check, please, with advantage this time.
yeah, so I guess it's like Reed, myself, Nikita, Butt Trumpet, Eldred.
Okay.
23 or 22. I guess it's kind of dealer's choice
23
of it.
will do great.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of your watch. Reed has just laid down and he's just cuddling with his bunny, and you can tell by the breathing, having roomed with him for so long, that he's starting to doze off. And you're on the other with your finding a place to lay out. You're actually on the lake side of the road this night. And so you're a little closer to the lake than you normally are. Everything seems to be going, it's peaceful. You can hear kind of a breeze every now and then. But the air is mostly still. But what catches your attention is when you're just kind of set into just sitting there and thinking about the days that have gone by, the old woman, how nice it is to be out of the city. You look out over the lake, and in a far distance, there's a flash of like a purplish pinkish blue that just seems to kind of erupt in the distance on the horizon and seems to kind of just grow and then turn almost whitish blue before fading back to night sky, to the evening sky.
So this has happened in a matter of seconds, or is this
Yeah.
take some time?
It
So
takes
seconds.
maybe 30 seconds.
Does Reed sound like he's fully asleep, or he's just kind of like almost
He's
there?
on his way to getting there.
Yeah, I kind of just like shake. I'm like, Reed, look at this, look at this shit. Look.
What?
I'm assuming at this point it's like pluming up.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
And by the time he kind of rubs his eyes and everything and sits up, it's beginning to fade. But he said, what was that?
I think that might have been Seven Rivers.
Give me a survival check.
Nope, no clue.
Okay.
10. So maybe like that's just a guess.
All right, with a 10, you're pretty sure it wasn't Seven Rivers, because Seven Rivers is to the east, northeast of you. This was kind of southeast. Mostly south, but like to the east a little bit.
Oh, so closer to us. So between us and Seven Rivers?
No. Seven Rivers is east of you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you've been going along the side of the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This was like across past the other.
Oh, just straight across the lake,
Right.
almost. Okay, so I'll still be like, was that Seven Rivers? And then sit there, whip out the map, and like, what the hell could that have been? There's nothing past Seven Rivers on the east, at least that I'm aware of.
Right, but this was mostly south, like across the lake.
So, it looked like it took place on the lake.
Or past the lake, but like it was on the horizon is what you saw.
Gotcha.
And it was like less than 30 seconds.
So I have a second question, Paul.
Yes.
The comet that has been in the sky,
which disappeared
Faded.
probably about half a year ago.
half a year ago. Okay.
When you first came to Seven Rivers,
Mhm.
it was gone. In the time that you went into the Great Green Sea Forest,
Yeah.
by the time you came out, because you had a little bit of a time jump,
Mhm.
it had disappeared.
Now, the question I want to know is the path that it was taking. Was it going?
It
West,
was just
east?
set in the sky.
Okay, it didn't have any kind of movement.
No, it kind of just
All right.
stayed there.
Well, okay. Well, Reed, you saw that. I just wanted somebody else to confirm that I wasn't.
You hear this sound in the distance like this, and it's gradually getting louder.
Shit. Are the horses laying down and sleeping?
They're standing. They're. I'm assuming you tied them to like a tree or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. Guys kind of like leads them and just like has them lay down individually, and
Okay.
there might be some wind or some bullshit.
They're
Like I'm
not. They
kicking it.
don't seem to want to lay down, but they'll move to where you want them. And this
Yeah.
is getting louder. Give me a perception check, please.
Perception. Like as Guys is doing this, he's definitely like 16, kicking the other members of the party. Be like, hey, prepare for a strong wind or some nonsense. I don't know.
Okay.
Some weird happened out east.
You along the horizon, you see like a weird kind of play of the light on at where the water meets the horizon. And as this sound is getting louder, so is this. It almost looks like a white mist is getting larger. And,
You know what? Screw this, everyone. We're moving west and basically getting everybody to get as far away from the lake as we can do in whatever time we got left.
okay. So you're moving west?
Away from the lake, yes.
Then that's north.
Oh, sorry, north. Yeah.
Okay. You get up over the road and you're down the other side, and behind you, you hear this. And do you just continue moving everyone north?
Yeah, like north and maybe looking for high ground as well.
Okay. So you're doing that, and if you venture a look over your shoulder, this thing's moving incredibly fast. And it's coming across the level of the lake, and it's like picking up a mist off the lake, and then there's a sound, a weird concussive sound as it kind of leaves the lake, and a lot of that mist kind of seems to dissipate. This is all in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And I need everyone to give me, the two of you, to give me a dexterity check, please.
18 for Gaius.
The two of you, with the aid of the horses and everything, are able to keep your footing. Reed kind of loses a little bit of his footing, but keeps his feet. Nikita and Eldred just kind of get bowled over and roll for about 20 feet of this force of, you're not sure if it's wind or what, but it just seems it hits you and pushes you, and it's moving at a speed like you've never seen before, and then just disappears past you into the land and into the tree. Like branches and leaves have come down from all these surrounding trees. All of you even feel a little bit of a dampness all over from what probably is part of the lake that this force picked up. And then you hear it just kind of disappear into the distance. And as it hits a tree line far north of you, you hear like this sound. It's like a million giants are taking trees and just shaking them like with all their might. And that is where we're going to end tonight.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We really hope that next week, Reed and Nikita will be feeling better and be able to join us. We look forward to seeing you all once again. We stream Sunday evenings on Twitch at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can find a lot of our past episodes on YouTube, both of them at Grognard and Friends. And we are working on getting more episodes up on YouTube, so hopefully we'll be getting caught up soon. Until we see you again next week, same Grognard time, same Grognard channel. Whoever you're with, especially if you're with your father today or someone else's father or with anybody, please be kind.